It's pretty isolated, I observe, and badly lit. You'd be fairly safe to assume that you could get away with pretty much anything out here. Fleet snorts. Well, if it wasn't for the witness, I'd guess it was a gay hookup gone wrong, seeing as our guy's half naked. Fleet squints into the tunnel at the body, wrinkling his nose. But it was probably drug payback, usually is. Maybe, I reply, but I don't think so. Everything here suggests that he was taken by surprise. I think he was urinating against the wall when someone attacked him. I point to the rancid wet circle not far from the body. Fleet clears his throat loudly and the rattle of loose phlegm nauseates me. My money is still on drugs. It's possible, I say, but there's no suggestion that he was using or selling. No track marks, no drug paraphernalia. Maybe he pissed someone off. Maybe, I say curtly. Fleet clicks his tongue. We must keep an open mind, Gemma, he says in a faux wise voice. It's early days after all. A familiar surge of frustration flares just as headlights swing across the darkness nearby. The bark of a dog explodes behind us. Moments later, our boss, Chief Inspector Toby Isaacs, ducks under the tape and into the mouth of the tunnel. He nods at me, then Fleet, before surveying the scene with wide grey eyes. His features don't move, but his gaze lingers on the dead man's worn boots. The sole of the left one gapes open at the toes like a howling mouth. What do we know? Asks Isaacs. He was stabbed, I say, straightening my shoulders and forcing strength into my voice. Looks like a single wound, though we haven't moved him yet. No sign of a weapon. I'll arrange for a field team to do a search at first light and see what CCTV we can pull from the area, but I think we'll hit a dead end on that front. I can't see any cameras. Isaacs nods briskly. And we're sure he was homeless? It certainly looks that way, I confirm. And smells that way, says Fleet. He points past the forensics team to a blanket and a tatty backpack. That looks like his bedroom over there. We can't find any ID, I add. Where's the witness now? Asks Isaacs, looking around. She's at the station, I tell him. We'll head back there and take her statement once we're done here. Apparently she's elderly and homeless herself. On my way here, I spoke to the constable who's with her, and he says she's in a bad way. She definitely doesn't have anything to do with it? It doesn't sound like it. He said she's terrified. Isaacs purses his lips. Do we have a description to work with? A man in a hoodie, I reply. We'll push for more details, but it's so dark out here I doubt she saw much. Men in hoodies really are the root of all evil, aren't they? Quips Fleet. I watch as he scratches his elbow and pushes a hand roughly through his wiry hair. Isaac seems to tolerate rather than favour him, which he never seems too fussed about, but then Nick Fleet never seems particularly ruffled by anything. In the 3 months I've been in Melbourne, I've worked more closely with him than anyone else on the squad. He's a detective sergeant like me, but at least a couple of years older. I'd be surprised if he's 40. I get the feeling he had another life altogether before entering the force. I also quickly learned he has a massive reputation with the ladies, though I'm yet to see the charm. He is unappealingly hairy and frequently rude, and he has a rough, primal quality, a harshness. The forensics officers begin to trawl through the pile of bedding. The camera strobes again before a jumper and a faded picnic blanket are swiftly bagged. Isaacs rubs his hands together and breathes into them. Hopefully it was someone he knew. A random attack on the homeless is the last thing we need. I'm going to have another smoke, announces Fleet. I'll have a bit of a look around while I'm at it. Isaacs just clasps his arms and rocks back slightly on his heels. He turns his head to look out across the parkland, his angular profile sharp. The moonlight paints his hair silver. As always, I can't tell what he's thinking. I shift my gaze past Isaacs to take in the maze of lights and uneven rooftops. I feel uneasy, not knowing who might be watching from the darkness. Detective Woodstock, says Brenton Cardona, one of the senior techs. We're going to move him in a minute. That okay with you? Aware that Isaac's eyes are on me, I give Cardona a firm yes before squatting next to the nameless victim one last time. Careful to avoid the blood and debris, I look into his face. His bottom lip hangs...